Start. Mr. Deputy Chairman, we find that the Defense Minister has introduced this Navy bill. As he has said in his preliminary remarks, we are not going to discuss the size of our Navy nor the number of cruisers and the like. But I cannot feel drawing his attention to the fact that he has introduced a very big bill and a very voluminous bill about a navy which is microscopically small. Besides our navy being microscopically small, our mercantile marine also is very small. The whole merchant fleet is very small. I feel that the Honorable Minister, who comes from a maritime state, has a soft corner for the merchant navy, and therefore he has introduced this voluminous bill before us. Para. The Honorable Minister has stated that this bill is modelled on the tradition of the United Kingdom. It is very obvious that it is so, and anybody reading through this bill will come to the conclusion that in many cases it is a blind limitation of the tradition in the United Kingdom. But let me submit that that tradition in the United Kingdom is out of date, and in imitating this tradition we have gone astray, and we are introducing in this bill many theories which the Second World War has completely exploded. Therefore, when this bill is being referred to the Joint Select Committee, I submit that the Joint Select Committee should very carefully examine the various provisions contained in this bill. Para. In this connection, I would just try to point out a few lines on which this bill should be improved. It is really a big bill, and it will not be possible for me to examine all the clauses, but I will restrict myself to only two main items. One is the clause which relates to discipline. Much has been made of discipline. It was a tradition in the 19th century in the army and the navy that discipline was everything. I feel that many of the clauses about discipline in this bill are influenced by that mental outlook of blind following, of a blind obedience to orders, whether sensible or insensible. I am afraid the Honorable Minister has not read the clauses, and he thinks that following the charge in the Light Brigade is the best ideal in the modern warfare. If I proceed a little further, I will point out to him what has been the attitude of the fighting forces in the Second World War, and in modeling our bills, that type of legislation should have been introduced in it. Para. Sir, I was saying that nowadays even a soldier in any modern army is an educated man. He knows his responsibilities and his duties. How wonderfully the post and telegraph men behaved. I do wish that the honorable member had spoken first so that he could have explained his point of view and I could have answered his points. The whole question is about our attitude towards the relationship. Para. Mr. Vice Chairman, at the outset, I shall fail in my duty if I do not salute the brave men and officers of all the three wings of our defense forces. At the same time, I would also compliment the scientists and other workers who are working in the research and development department, in ordnance factories, and in public sector undertakings under the Ministry of Defense for the good work they have done in the recent years. However, I am very much pained when I saw in this house during the last 10 days allegations being made which have no foundation or which are not based on facts, particularly at a time when our country is threatened, when the integrity and unity of our country is threatened. Para. Sir, our Prime Minister has two assets: a clean image with which he wants to wipe out corruption from different spheres of activities. He wants to wipe out the tears of the people by implementing programs which will benefit poorer sections of this country. Our integrity and unity is challenged. Pakistan is given massive aid by USA and other countries. Never in the history of Pakistan were arms given to it, so much aid given to it, but the rate at which it is being done now, Pakistan is bent upon taking revenge for all the past 3 years when Pakistan was humiliated by this country. Para. Sir, USA is interested in weakening this country for the reason that this country wants to stand on its own legs. Stop. In regard to our foreign policy, our defense policy, this country has decided that it will do whatever it feels correct in the interests of the world, in the interests of this country. That is the reason why they do not like a strong India, and that is why they are encouraging Pakistan. I would go to this extent and say that I feel very strongly that Pakistan is interested in humiliating our country. America and other countries do not want that India should be strengthened. This war is to be waged against India, and Pakistan is going to be a proxy of America. I strongly feel in that way. Weapons which are being given to Pakistan by America can be used only against India and not against Afghanistan. Previously, they were giving arms in the name of fighting China. Now, China, Pakistan, and American have become one axis. Para. Sir, the late Shri Krishnan Menon used to say that no one has still invented a gun which can be fired only in one direction. If America had given such guns which could have been fired against only Afghanistan, I could have understood. But no such gun is invented in the world so far. Mr. Krishna Menon also said that there are no permanent friends or permanent enemies. Only our national interests are permanent. At present, we do not want to see on those lines. That is why I request my friends to understand